What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. It is Monday, April the 3rd, 2023. And in what has to be the strangest video I've ever done, we will talk about what in the world happened to yours truly on Friday night. Is there any hope whatsoever with respect to MCOM? Why did I sell ENSC at 644 in the pre-market? And what, if anything, should we do about XELA, who reports earnings at 4:30 East Coast time tonight after the bell? All that and more coming right up. I was advised not to do this video for a number of reasons. Not the least of which, I need to keep my blood pressure down because I have significant amount of head trauma, which is actually way down from where it was yesterday. I've already spoken with a doctor. I have another appointment tomorrow. We don't think there's any significant damage in terms of my eye is intact, but I have major head trauma, probably a couple of scars, one of which you probably can't see behind my eyebrow, one below my eye. So I was advised not to do this video for health reasons. I also had a number of people say, geez, you sure you want to put yourself on camera? You know there's going to be some haters out there that'll think that you got your ass kicked. Fair enough. What I will tell you is exactly what happened, why I think it happened. Of course, focus on the glass half full, and then cover, before this video is out, the 2 or 3 stocks that I mentioned in the promo. I would ask you for patience. I'm not going to scream and holler, at least not today, because I don't want to risk a medical event while I'm on camera. Let me start by saying thank you to all those who have expressed their concern. I'm sure you were not aware, if you can see that, how significant it was. And believe me, it was worse. Yesterday, the eye was completely closed. And from, I would say, the top of my head to my ear was like a softball. But the swelling is down by 75%. My eye is obviously open. I can see perfectly out of both eyes, and I don't think I have any significant damage. So what in the hell happened? Well, I normally go out on Friday nights. I don't drink much. In fact, my tolerance is way down, and it had something to do with what happened on Friday night. So I'm out to have dinner, and we usually sit with, among other folks, this older couple who I adore. The husband was in, I believe, Ohio, giving a speech at a college, and I had dinner with the wife. And it was me, her, and a few other friends. I probably had 2 drinks in the span of an hour and a half. And then we went to the hotel bar, and I'm talking about Avalon, Alpharetta, Georgia. And then my very dear friend Scott, who does not drink, he's a recovering cancer patient, and we're grateful that he's still with us. He's my designated driver unless I take an Uber, and I never drink and drive. So we decided to go downtown, and we run into someone that I'll call a bull in a china shop. And this guy is a lot of fun, but he's too much fun. And it was him, his wife, 3 other couples, all of which are married, myself and Scott. So we go on what you might consider a 3-hour bender. And it was one shot after another. And by the time we got to 10:30, 11, which is not very late, I knew I was done. And so did Scott. So he's like, look, let's get out of here. So he takes me home, 10-minute drive, and he pulls over. We say our goodbyes, watches me go inside, lock the door. I go upstairs. I have a bowl of cereal. Don't eat much cereal, but Rice Krispies with sugar. Yeah, I know. Terrible. On occasion after I've been out drinking. I then, like many of you, went up to take a shower. So I'm in the shower, and it seemed like forever. And I get out, and I'm still not feeling, let's call it copacetic. And I turn the corner to go out of my bathroom, towards the laundry room, and I trip over the same set of sneakers that I had on that night. And I went down like a ton of bricks. I tried to turn at the end. My left shoulder is bruised and sprained, but I couldn't get my hands out in time. And I was this close to hitting a dresser that had a square corner. So I was an inch away from losing an eye or being dead, because I not only realized, wow, you just got hit with a ball bat, hardwood floors, but I decided, shake it off. Just go to bed. And as some of you know, that's a potential death sentence. I believe it was Liam Neeson's wife who had a skiing accident. She hit her head. She went to bed. She never waked up. So I went to bed. And just as an indication of how out of it I was, I woke up the next day and I'm feeling my eye as I'm checking my phone, and I'm thinking, I must have had an allergic reaction. I'm deathly allergic to cats. Was I hanging around a woman that had cats? Because my eyes will swell up. So I get up out of bed, I go to the bathroom, and I see my eye is completely shut. There's blood on the side of my face. I go back out to my bed. There's blood all over my sheets in my pillowcase. So I took a picture and I sent it to Scott. I was like, what the hell happened? Because my first reaction is somebody broke in and beat the shit out of me. I thought I had someone come into my house and try to kill me. And Scott never comments on these videos. And again, I realize some people are going to think I'm making this up. That's fine. Most would not even have the courage to get in front of the camera. We all know there's going to be some that say, I can't be doing business with a guy who's drunk, falling on his ass. We've lost $6,000 worth of business a month. Since the beginning of this year, we may lose 6,000 more. That's fair enough. But he said, I didn't leave you in that condition. So I sat there thinking, that's right. I turned the corner. I tripped over the sneaker. I was on the floor for at least 10 minutes because I couldn't get up. I was wasted. Last week did me in. And some of you may have had a similar experience. We had two stocks, ENSC and MCOM, which I'll cover, that were down over 30%. And when I ran into that guy and the folks that he was with, I used it as an excuse to go nuts. And I damn near lost my life in the process. So what's the lesson? What's the moral of the story? I'll be 53 April 13th. And I shouldn't be out, as my grandfather would say, acting like a goddamn fool. But I was. And I need to learn from that. The biggest message that I have as I sit here just sharing with you honestly is life is precious, life is short, and we're not getting any younger. I need to be more responsible with my actions. I have hardwoods throughout this house. Any trip of that sort could have killed me. But I'm here for a reason. And the reason I'm here in front of the camera today looking like a mess is my late father taught me you don't lay down on the field. I can remember when I was in high school, I was playing a team named Carthage. I was a quarterback at Indian River Warriors in New York. We won the high school state championship in 1988. And I was standing on the goal line, just stargazing, and I got drilled at the whistle and broke 6 ribs. Gasping for air, walked to the sideline about 30 yards and collapsed. Another time I got kicked in the balls and it went right up in me. Staggered to the sideline, had to pull them right out. And ladies, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. I never once in my entire career through college and football laid down on the field, not one time. So I told some friends, including Scott, the show must go on. I'm going to be judged. I'm going to be mocked. I'm going to be hated on. I'm going to be laughed at. But as many or more people will say, you know what? This motherfucker, win, lose, or draw, is going to show up. Whether we're making money, losing money, getting killed, whatever the case, as long as I'm breathing and I'm not 6 feet under, I'm going to be here. With that said, once again, I appreciate the support. All the thoughts and prayers, no doubt, made a difference in bringing the swelling down. And I will become a better man because of this. MCOM. Last trade, 290. I think the low of the day was 275. Some of you joke that Sal sent his goons, that's the CEO of the company, to beat my ass up. That's not the case. And while I'm on the subject, I don't wish Sal or anyone that owns the stock harm. I raised hell, and I'm certain I'll raise it again, because I want everybody to make money. I want everybody to be made whole. We've been cut in half in the last 48 hours. In large part, and this is my opinion, there's a giant misconception as to what actually took place. Helbiz and Wheels did not go away. They did not go away. This is the same company that traded at 12 cents a share last week on the earnings. Yes, Sal dangled a carrot. Hang in there, big things coming. Well, anyone who didn't sell, and we have to take responsibility as men in particular, that we decided to stick around, just got cut in half. But there's a lot of people that think the paper factory with Yorkville and the fact that they're abandoning their rideshare business means that the company is in big fucking trouble. I don't think that's the case. Helbiz and Wheels are being rolled into MCOM, and the micro mobility, and I may have misspoke a couple of times in the last video, forgive me, is the retail arm of the company. Because you may have seen Sal share, and he's right, that Paris was a major city that shut down rideshare with scooters and e-bikes. Well, if that happens all over the world, their business model is in trouble. So they're attempting to diversify risk into retail. But none of the $20 million or thereabouts is going away. It's still part of the company or the rideshare aspect of the business. The big red flag, or the potential red flag, is what are you doing in Soho? Can we afford, as shareholders in a company, to be taking down rent in super high-end cities? I don't know. Sounds kind of scary, doesn't it? And if it is the case that they're going to go into, AAA rated areas with the intention to sell as many bikes as they can, what's Yorkville going to do? Are they the ones that are printing stock? I think most of it is panic selling. This is not short selling. Try calling E-Trade, Schwab. You can't short the stock. They're not letting you short the stock. Not yet anyway. Dark pools, institutions, high frequency. Yeah. But the volume is not indicative of massive amounts of short selling. This is people, in my opinion, that have been decimated, that no longer trust Sal, and it's like, fuck him, I'm getting out. And, I said on Friday at 3.25, last trade 295, I thought it was a mistake. But this thing could easily go lower. We're in a market right now, moving on to ENSC, where nothing is sustainable. You may have seen the last video I did when I referenced Mullen. God bless the woman who keeps saying it's going to $1 on its own. Wrong. It was 13 and change. It was time to get out. Make it, take it. Last trade, 1085. The market is super unforgiving. As my blood pressure's starting to go up and my head hurts. Hang on one second. We are not in a market right now that is able to sustain a small cap rally. We're rolling from one industry to another. We're out of tech today into industrials. But there's absolutely no love whatsoever for the smallest of small cap. So when ENSC got up to 644 in the pre-market on very good news, I got out. And I shared a screenshot at the exact same time. And we had at least one premium member who fired me, who said I was lying. There was no way it was up there. It wasn't up there long enough, or I put the photo out after I sold it. Blah, blah, fucking blah. We had a chance to take a 10% loss, which was almost a 38% loss on Friday, and I took advantage because we could sell the remaining 4 stocks we own and try to buy something else or wait for the bounce. And tonight, XELA could bounce. Last trade near 3.5. Now, it's a market where if their earnings are lousy, we could go even lower. And there is going to be a reverse split at some time, most likely after, I believe, the May 5th shareholder meeting. But I've seen it time and time again. In fact, if you remember CEI, when they announced a reverse, it went from 6 cents to 15 in one day. And I was screaming at people to sell it. And then after the split, it collapsed by more than 70%. So if XELA has decent earnings and the stock gets pumping, 5 and change, 6 and change where we own it, we're out. At least I am. And these massive losses on paper could be cut in half or even better. And we live to fight another day, because if you take the totality of the last 12 months, it was 10 months of in fuego, over 100 winners booked, and then 2 months of getting absolutely decapitated. But it's still up over 450% if you followed me in and out of every trade in the last year. That's a fact. But we live in a what have you done for me lately world. $6,000 out the door. I'm not saying that to get sympathy. I'm saying it because I'm an open book. In closing, if there's anything you get from this video, especially you men, and that's 80% of my audience, you never give up. You face the music. You get your ass off the fucking field and you get back in the game. You never lay down. You never quit. You never give in. I've taken an enormous amount of heat. I'm sure this photo and this video is going to be all over the place, and it's going to be a permanent record. Fair enough. It's an example of being true to yourself and those that you serve. I want people to know, especially those that are having a difficult time, don't give up. It could be bad. You could look like you've been run over by a truck. Like moi. It ain't over till it's over. And if you've been in this game long enough, you know that it can turn on a dime. On Friday, ENSC was 4.5, 4.75. If I'd have said to you then, I'll give you 644 right now. Done. When TRKA was 19 cents last week and it ran to 33, you wouldn't have believed that. You wouldn't have believed that. And yet it's back again at 22, 23 cents. This market, this life, the business you're in can turn on a dime. Don't you ever fucking give up. And until next time, once again, thank you for your thoughts and prayers. Always remember that I love you guys and gals, and I appreciate you watching.